Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Hyper Metroid. I'm going to mess it up quite a bit probably. And in this video, I go places and find things. Notably, area I shouldn't technically be at quite yet. So again, here's another super missile door sort of blocking your path. It's a yapping maw, which you can destroy, and when doing so, its body just sort of stays there. Yeah. But yeah, again, a super Metroid door. A super missile door you can circumvent by just going around, taking a long path. I mean, I saw Nova, I'm like, oh, goody, this is a path to Norfair. Yay. Sort of. It leads to a heated area, which I leave, then promptly return to it because I just saved. I'm like, oh, I can do this. This isn't going to be that big a deal. See how far I can get in with this. And the answer to that is not very far, and I really shouldn't be here quite yet. So, yeah. And just ignore the death animation there. There really isn't much to do at Norfair yet. But with the intended path, because basically I've done everything in Brinstar I can do. I don't have supers, so I can't defeat Kraid or anything. With the intended path, I am supposed to now leave Brinstar, go to the wrecked ship, and then I get some items there. That was also totally skills on my part. But you're supposed to leave, go to the wrecked ship, get an item there, do some things. And then you're supposed to go into Norfair and explore around and find a thing. Possibly a couple of things in there. As far as the intended path, that is, from here, what I know. Actually, right now, you could technically get quite a few things right now. Including a very nice thing, but we'll get into that later. It's, again, something with just being an open world, and it's like, I'm lost? I don't have an issue being lost, really. I'm okay with that. As long as when I look, I can actually find new things in advance. That's why going through Brinstar is getting a little bit frustrated with it, just because, you know, hey, I did a bunch of exploring, and maybe I shouldn't have been there, but I was still allowed to get there. And I got, I think, one missile out of it. Well, and an energy tank. I did get an energy tank. So I got those out of it, but it just led me to more doors I can't open, which I was able to circumvent, I should say. I was able to circumvent those doors, which then led to more power bomb blocks in my way, and I couldn't actually advance or do anything back there. So, yeah, a little bit annoyed with that. But then again, it is kind of hard to make an open world where, you know, everything is just fits right. Because you want the player to explore, to be able to look around, have freedom and whatnot. But when they can go everywhere, and you're still, or pretty much everywhere, but when they actually get to some new places, you're insistent on blocking everything off with upgrades they don't have, and they didn't really get any reward for going anywhere, for doing some more difficult stuff. There's bound to be some frustration set in from that. And up here on this door is the X-ray room. This room is the only room where X-ray is any bit useful. Honestly, it's literally here for this room and 100%. There is really no need, and it's just like, wait, why? I didn't want this. But yeah, this is the one room where it's useful. So basically, the idea is the door is locked. You have X-ray. Find things so you can destroy enemies and get out. Which seems simple enough. It's like, oh hey, great. I got enemies and things. So now I can get out. Well, as it turns out, no, that's not the case. Like, wait a second, the door's still locked. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe I missed something in these tunnels. Did I miss an enemy? The answer would be no to that. Again, it makes... And this is completely the one room that X-ray is useful in. And that's partially because the way the items are hidden, and I'm making air quotes while saying hidden, because, you know, they really aren't hidden at all. They're sort of there, and when they are hidden, there's pretty obvious hints for them. So yeah, I think I found a thing here, but I really didn't. It's really right there. It's like, oh, really? Again, I guess it's kind of a interesting way for X-ray, but yeah, it's X-ray. And then of course, pulling off this trick again. It's like, I can think of some hacks I despise because of things like this. And there are parts in this hack where there's like morph ball tunnel / maze things, and it's like, really? Why would you ever do such a thing? So instead of going in and bravely fighting this scary waver, I just sit in the thing and bomb till it turns into it itself. But that opens the door. And say goodbye to X-ray's usefulness. Not that it was ever really useful, but in some situations it can be. I guess it does have another use that I could have done, but I didn't because I'm a dingbat. I'm trying to figure out why I didn't do that. I don't know. Well, anyway, there was another #1 gate. It's like, well, where does this elevator take me? The answer is no place I really want to be. As I am back in Norfair, which I just had a very bad experience in. And some very strangely paletted blue things there. And yeah, there's really nothing we can do here right now. This room isn't heated, but again, there's nothing quite for us here. It is Norfair, so you kind of expect you want a suit before you enter here. That still holds true for this hack. So yeah, I'm being a little careful because I got X-ray and I haven't saved. I don't want to die again and lose what little progress I've gained. So it's like, well, I can go here. Well, plus enemies takes a while to kill. It's like, yeah, no. I'll come back. Which was a smart decision, because there's actually nothing to do there right now. I think you might be able to do some heat runs and stuff for some things, but there's really no point to do so. Because actually right now at this point, you could go get both suits. Actually, so. So yeah. And yes, you can get either suit in either order, I believe, as well. So that is something else that is somewhat interesting. Again, with the open-ended nature of the hack, gravity is obviously in a place you're less likely inclined to go look, but it's definitely in a spot you can grab. And there was also some things with one safe station in particular where standing on it in the middle didn't actually trigger the save question. I kind of had to stand off to the side on it a little bit, which was a little bit weird. Not entirely sure what was going on with that. So once again, the shroomers are amazing things. And this might actually be the point where I go ahead and bust out the best thing in this hack. Because, again, with how easy IBJing is, you could fall down, jump off the crumble blocks, IBJ up to that ledge, which would actually be the faster way than what I ended up doing, but that's not what I ended up doing, and I still got over there. I was busy trying to look around to see if there was anything I could do, because initially I thought, well, wasn't there a grapple block or something? It's like, maybe I could IBJ or something. And then I fell through the crumble blocks like that, and it's like, And actually the whole idea for what I end up doing I got from actually just plain old Super Metroid with the vanilla physics and everything. Project Base makes this so much easier, but in vanilla you can crawl across the ceiling by bomb jumping. Project Base, it's much easier because if you just keep playing bombs, you can crawl across the ceiling. I was worried the slope might hurt me, but nope. I went down the slope, I go up the slope just fine. I literally just crawl across the ceiling bombing like this. And this is actually much easier than you might think. The only thing is your finger might get a little bit tired from pressing the button. But this is super easy to do. And again, you can move a little bit faster. What I'm doing, I'm being very careful. Yeah, right now my momentum just stops, so, but you can keep tapping the direction a little bit. And that is where I got my first super missile. That is not your intended first super missile. Your intended first super missile is in Norfair. That I do know. Which obviously you're not going to get to that point until you have Meridia suit. And Meridia suit is in the wrecked ship. So that's a lot of the long winding pathways that you're supposed to be taking in the hack. So while I did do a bunch of out of order exploration, didn't really get anything from it, I sort of make up for it and not having to go look for super missiles in Norfair because of that. So, and I do like being able to break things like that. Also, this room, what in the world? Like these 1x2 platforms, a lot of them are crumbles. And I don't understand the reason behind it. If there is a reason. But yes, there is an item up there. And again, with that being crumbles, like, wow, really? So yes, that item is Wave Beam, which would be a very good item to have. Which again, you can get this right after, I mean, you could jump up there with high jump, but you can get it right after bombs because, hey, infinite bomb jump. Plus, it's right next to the super missiles that you can ceiling crawl too, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I was just testing to see the ammo use there. But I'm disappointed in myself because I did that ceiling crawl. I really don't return to it until much later, even though it's such a useful technique and stuff. And there's a lot of places you can use it. And this missile tank, I believe, is supposed to be your first missile. I just never went and grabbed it, because it's right next to Morph Ball, basically, so... That's supposed to be your first missile. Which again, I completely went around. Also, that room going to the left is kind of annoying, because you have these crumble blocks for a faster fall, but your bombs explode fast. Plus, you fall down onto those bomb blocks, so it's not a smooth roll across to the crumble blocks, so... Like, why bother putting those bomb blocks there at all? I don't know. So, climbing, I can talk real good. Climbing up the mushroom, you can just jump up here. Or you can IBJ, of course. You got a nice green looking wave beam. It does increase your beam's power, obviously. And something to mention about the beams, all beams are stackable, including Spazer and Plasma. Spazer, I believe, is the ultimate beam in terms of power. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Spazer is the strongest beam. Like, having that stacked with any other is the strongest combination, even though you can stack them all. Plasma still obviously has the ability to cut through enemies, so that is one reason why you'd be using that. And then suddenly, these stupid jerks appear. Nobody likes them. Why would you do this? I don't know. But I was looking through them because they are here suddenly, so I was like, maybe they opened something up. So I'm hanging around just waiting. It's like, nope. I thought maybe they broke a tile and then there was an item, but no. So with all this, just really... Like with the supers, I now open a lot of the super doors in Brinstar. I can get to Kraid, which is actually one of my main focuses at this point while playing. Is going and fighting Kraid, because that was what I was trying to do initially. And then the super missile sort of blocked me. This pirate is supposed to be one of the tough enemies that says, oh hey, you're not supposed to be here. But again, I can destroy it with just my normal regular beam, so why would I not go back here? I can easily avoid it and continue on. Yeah. I don't know. It's not a huge deterrent. And then we get to Baby Puke Meridia, because this palette is hideous. I'm not a big fan of it, obviously. I mean, that just looks like a pile of vomit, so... Anyway, underwater exploration is fun and great. Sort of. And you see now here, with the enemy not being hit by the beam, that's more of a deterrent for not going here. But again, I have Grapple Beam. And those things still get instantly killed by Grapple Beam. Although there are enemies that are no longer affected by Grapple Beam, which kind of throws me off. So, but before we find those, I end up just saving at the save station here and stopping this video file. So we will stop here as well after I go look at this plant. So thanks for watching. We will see you for the next part, which will be part 5, in which I do things and then do something incredibly stupid. So we will see you for that.